welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and I wanted to discuss, because Mark Hamill did an interview regarding the next season of Nightfall, and he made some comments about Luke Skywalker and his feelings about how they've treated the character in the sequel trilogy, and I just wanted to touch on those because I think it's very telling. It's very telling that you're talking about somebody who has made his career being Luke Skywalker, the person who arguably knows Luke Skywalker the best of anybody ever, and to hear his statements regarding the way they handled the character in the sequel trilogy. I know we've heard a little bit of it before, but then we kind of, he definitely got pushed into falling in line. And this one's really interesting too because it also is very revealing about the treatment of his character in episode 9 without him actually saying anything at all, which is really, really interesting. So I want to read one statement that he made and then discuss that. So here you go. He says, "I just thought Luke's never going to see his best friend again. You look at it in a self-centered way. I said that it was a big mistake that these three people would never reunite in any way. I guess I was wrong because nobody seems to care. We care, Mark. I have to stipulate that I care, but it didn't really seem to affect the larger audience. Luke, Han, and Leia will never be together again, and I'll probably never get to work with Harrison again. And the second thing was that they killed me off. I thought, oh, okay, you should push my death off to the last one. That's what I was hoping when I came back. No cameos and a run of the trilogy contract. Did I get any of those things? Because as far as I'm concerned, the end of 7 is really the beginning of 8. I got one movie. They totally hornswoggled me." So, first we have to talk about just the use of the word hornswoggled, which I've never ever heard before, but I think it's excellent. And I'm just going to say hornswoggled from now on. No more hoodwinked or anything like that. Never going to say they pulled the wool over my eyes. I'm going to say they hornswoggled me. Because that's just delightful. So thank you for that, Mark. But, I mean, obviously I care, and some of you care, because at least a couple thousand of you watched my video when I talked about the worst crime of Kathleen Kennedy, which was exactly that, which was the failure to bring those three people back together on screen. I'm with Mark Hamill 100% in that. That was an effing travesty. And just to hear that, I mean, he goes on to speak about how he is essentially a fan in his own way, and he looks at playing Luke as playing someone else's sheet music. He's the musician. He's not there to write it. He's there to just bring it to life. And I get that, but at the same time, if you're talking about the person who is Luke Skywalker feeling that passionately about this group being together again, I mean, I feel like that tells you something. I mean, I personally think that Mark Hamill's feelings towards Star Wars and towards Luke and towards the original saga probably fall in line with original Star Wars fans a lot more than the people who just don't care, who would rather see Rey and Kylo Ren get together than see those three reunited on screen. That to me is not, even if those people are the ones making the most noise in some cases, those aren't Star Wars fans. Those are social justice fans who love seeing it injected into everything, including Star Wars. I'm sorry, if you're more invested in Rey or any of the sequel characters than you are with Luke, than in Luke, Han, and Leia, you're not an OG Star Wars fan. I'm not saying you're not a real Star Wars. Anyone can, if you like Star Wars, I guess you're a Star Wars fan, but you're not an OG Star Wars fan. Because the OG Star Wars fans, our identities are, in some cases, are formed around those original characters. Our lives, our ideas of good and evil and right and wrong were shaped and molded by these people. Especially if you were young when they came out or saw them as a kid after they came out, very, very much so. And so I think that most of us are actually more on Mark Hamill's side and his perspective on how we would have liked to see Luke done. But anyway, so the thing is that, like I said, this is kind of a little bit of a giveaway. You have the fact that he said he got one movie pretty much conclusively tells you that he's not going to be back in any meaningful way in episode 9. He'll be a Force ghost maybe. He'll be in a flashback perhaps. He'll have a side here or there, but he's not going to be included in any meaningful way in episode 9. That's, as much as we all hoped and wished, it's pretty much the nail in the coffin on that one. That's pretty conclusive. So that's sort of disappointing. Not that there's any way they're going to bring him back that was going to fix anything or make anything better, but you sort of hope. But even so, like, even if he is a Force ghost, people theorize, well, he's going to come back as a Force ghost to be the one who trains Rey. Like, if he says he's not in 9, if you feel that he got one movie, essentially, I don't think he's going to have a serious or major role even as a Force ghost in episode 9. So that's kind of bums me out. I mean, it really bums me out. It just kind of makes me go, oh, okay, well, it sucks. And it's sad. Like, it's sad to see the person who breathed life into this pivotal character, into this character that is a legend in the minds of so many, be so disappointed in how this has panned out. I mean, this is something, this defined Mark Hamill's career, and for a long time it's sort of, it was not always great in a way, because it kind of pigeonholed him into that for a long time, and he wasn't always happy about that. So to see him come back to this work at the end, not the end of his career, obviously he still has many, many years of filmmaking to go, but to come back so many years later as a mature man, as a much older seasoned actor, to come back into this for that culmination, and to see it go so unfulfilled for him, it breaks my freaking heart. Like, it really does. And I don't know, it still bothers me. It upsets me. Obviously it still bothers him. And I just don't know. I don't know how anyone's okay with this, you have Mark fucking Hamill saying that this is not Luke, How do you come back and be like, yeah, well, Rian Johnson said it is. Rian Johnson knows more about Star Wars than anyone ever. Yeah. I just don't get it. So that's all. I just wanted to share my sadness and depression with you guys, because everything's awful. But yeah, we'll talk again soon. And if you guys like this, press that like button. Go ahead and share this video. Drop your comments on it. All of your God, I just sounded like Jeremy, didn't I, for a second? Video. Drop your comments. All the interaction you have with this helps it out more than you know. If you really like this channel and you want to help it grow, click Get Involved with Me. That video will give you all the links, information about my Patreon, my business address, my social media, all of that stuff. T-shirts, different ways to get involved with and help support the channel so that you can see it continue to grow. Anyway, thanks so much, and I'll talk to you again soon.